And welcome to our final segment of this NFL saga. Week 1. We're back. But Dallas's defense is taking a year off, I think. Dallas against San Francisco. I think this is America's game of the week.
As the 49ers got off start this season off with a very interesting game in Dallas. Colin Kaepernick will try to come back this year to have a better season than how it ended last year, which is an NFC Championship loss to the Seattle Seahawks.
Kukla's favorite quarterback, Colin Kaepernick.
As I do believe Kaepernick could have a good season this year, but we'll wait on and see. Frank Gore, I still believe he's an average running back, but he can do something for this team, I believe, this year
he can pose an inconvenient truth to Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
Get it?
Then we also have some pretty good wide receivers for this team as well as Crabtree, pretty big receiver for this team and probably the number one receiver on this team, and Antoine Bolden.
But you better not talk about Richard Sherman.
Richard Sherman? Yeah.
Don't you ever talk about me!
But I do believe this 49ers offense is going to be very well, as well as the defense. Then you have the Cowboys, who I believe are going to be a very interesting team to watch this year, as well as Tony Romo coming back after having an injury at the end of last year, after having back surgery as well, so we'll see where he is. Murray, who is an on and off back, if he can keep it on for the season, I believe he could probably be one of the best backs in the league if he can continue to keep it going. Then also you have the big man at wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys, Dez Bryant, who is probably just like a Calvin Johnson, if not just right behind Calvin Johnson as the best receiver in the league. And I do believe these are two very, very powerful offenses, but the 49ers do have the defense, and I believe that's going to give them the advantage in this game. And I do have the 49ers winning this one. Because it's in Dallas, I'm going to call it a close game here, but the 49ers are going to win this one 27-23.
Might as well call them the Alice Cowboys, because I don't see them having much of a defense. I mean, you and I could get out on the field and help the Cowboys.
I don't know that much.
I picked this to be a high-scoring game, as I think every game in Dallas will be a high-scoring one. 35-31 to San Francisco. I think Greg Roman will be pulling some hairs, or was it Jim Tom Zula? I'm not sure. Whoever their defensive coordinator is, he'll be pulling some hairs because of course, the Dallas offense. But at the end of the day, San Francisco is going to win this game. And how about them 8-8 Cowboys, as they will finish again this year, most likely. Sunday night game, Denver against the Colts.
Very good matchup here as Peyton Manning once again going against his former team, the Indianapolis Colts. This time he will be in Denver for this one, as the battle between Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning will continue.
Jeez, he travels everywhere to play these tribute games.
Oh, pretty much.
Every year, like this year, the Broncos go to Foxborough.
As the Colts pretty much, with Andrew Luck under the helm, he's a very, very improved quarterback from last year. I thought he did a great job last year, especially leading his team against the Kansas City Chiefs, which was probably the best game of the year last year in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. As the Colts team is something to watch, just because I don't know about the running game. The running game has still got some question marks behind it, but the passing game, they're going to be on this year. And then we had the Denver Broncos, who we mentioned in the first segment, a very, very improved team, which is scary, especially looking at last year after their offense being as good as it was last year. Adding Sanders to the offense at wide receiver, and then adding some defensive players as well, add defensive end Ware. So the Broncos looking more scarier this year, as a game rematch of last year, and probably another good game last year as well. Just because the Broncos are home, I do have the Broncos winning this one. I believe Peyton Manning's going to have another great game to begin the season like he did last year. Not as good as last year, but he's going to have a good one to start it off. And they will beat the Colts 34-31.
I have Denver winning, and I have Denver winning in impressive fashion at home. 31-7.
Oof.
I see. Well, the Colts are that pesky team that will beat anyone and anybody and everybody. I just don't see it happening this time. Just remember when Blunt ran for 5 touchdowns against them in New England.
Yeah, that one definitely do.
And I remember I grabbed LeGarrette Blunt at the last minute on my playoff fantasy team, and before that game, I thought he's going to have a good game today. I can see it. 5 touchdowns later, money. 31-7 to Denver. Now to our Monday night games. My Lions, against the Giants.
Well, the Giants come into this season with Eli Manning, who was hoping not to have a season like he did last year, where he threw interception.
You can't spell eliminated without ELI.
Yeah, that is actually very true. I never thought about that one. Oh, wow, that's a good one. I'm going to keep that one now. But Eli Manning trying to improve this year after having a very, very horrible year last year. Hopefully he has some good receivers. Victor Cruz again, who was a big threat the past couple of years for him. Hopefully he can get him going as well. Running back position, still some question marks there of who's going to be the big one in that one. Jennings, who I think is going to be a great addition to this New York backfield. Maybe he could be the key to helping this pass offense relax a little bit. As if you didn't watch what the NFL, the New York coaches said, they want Eli Manning to have a 70% passer rating by the end of the season, which I actually don't see that happening.
In your dreams,
Sorry, Eli. But then you have the Lions team coming in this one. Very good offense. Probably I'd say one of the best offenses in the league with Matthew Stafford at quarterback, Reggie Bush at running back, and Calvin Johnson at wide receiver and Golden Tate as well. Very strong defense for the Lions as well this year. But I do have the Lions winning this one at home in a very close game, 30-24.
I picked 28-21 towards Detroit. There's big expectations in the city of Detroit this year, even though we've blown it so many times.
I truly do believe Detroit is one of the top 5 teams in the league if they can play good.
Mm-hmm. And Caldwell will give us the discipline we need. Hashtag in Caldwell we trust. Detroit 28, Giants 21. And to our last Monday night game, which half of us out on the East Coast will probably not be staying up for.
I will.
Arizona against San Diego, and I will say, I have Tuesday mornings off just because of Monday Night Football.
Well, you have the Chargers who are coming into this game. I believe a very good team after making the playoffs last year. Phillip Rivers, I truly do like him as a quarterback. He's a great quarterback, I believe. If he can get the right weapons, he can lead this team possibly to an AFC Championship game, I do believe. As he's got some good running backs, some Matthews and Danny Woodhead as well, who can make some moves out of the backfield. Also at wide receiver, Allen, who I believe is going to be an underdog receiver in the league, as not many people know him. I believe he can do something this year. And then we go to the Carolina team, who has a very, very great defense.
Arizona, you mean?
What did I say?
You said Carolina.
Did I say Carolina? Oh, okay. Arizona, my bad.
But either way, they both have good defenses.
Yeah, they both do have good defenses. But Arizona, who has a great defense.
On my fantasy team, so they have high expectations for them.
They're probably one of the top, I believe it's one of the top 5 defenses in the league this year. Offense, a pretty good offense as well. Palmer, their starting quarterback, I believe he's had a great season last year. Led this team to a very good season last year. They went 10-6. Larry Fitzgerald, that wide receiver. I just believe the Cardinals are the NFC West is going to be a very, very big battle, I believe, for the top spot in that division. I do believe the Cardinals are going to win this game at home, though. I believe their defense is going to be a big factor, and they're going to win this one 24-21.
I got 28-27 to Arizona. The defense is going to be strong. Maybe not so much this game, but they're going to be up there. It's just bad. It's just sad they're in the NFC West. But that wraps up our show for Week 1, and we hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you again next week.